Leader of the House responded to Honorable Taratha Athukorala about Honorable Sivanesathura Chandrakanthan's case and said 4.5 years he was in remand. 4.5 years. He thought that was a long time. I do concede 4.5 years in remand is a long time. But what about the Tamil political prisoners? He used that word. He said Deshapalana Sirakaruwak lesa salakanwada kila aywa. What has happened to the actual Tamil political prisoners? I am not talking about Sivanesathura Chandrakanthan, who is accused of murdering Tamil National Alliance parliamentarian Joseph Parrajasingam on the 24th December night when he was attending Mass in the Batticaloa Cathedral. But what about the actual political prisoners? How long have they been in remand? Why are you not rising for the rights of those persons? They have been in remand for 20 years, 25 years, some over 30 years. Now why can't they be released? Why doesn't the Honorable Attorney General consent to bail in that case? Why does he consent to bail to only Sivanesathura Chandrakanthan under PTA? In one case, the AG takes a position that he can consent to bail. In another case, he says no, under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, under Section 7(1) proviso, in the High Court, I have no discretion to consent to bail. Why these double standards? I am talking about double standards in all of these cases. What about the Trinco 5? What about the Trinco 5? You gave assurance after assurance after assurance to various international fora. No justice for those 5 students. What about the Muthoor ACF workers, 17 of them? What about the 11 youth who were abducted in Colombo? Where is justice for all of that? I mentioned Joseph Parrajasingam. What about Raviraj? What about Sivanesan? 3 honorable MPs of this house murdered while they were sitting MPs. Raviraj's case came up before the High Court in Colombo before a Sinhala speaking jury. Under the PTA, there is no jury trial. But he was charged for murder as well under the penal code just to enable a jury trial. And after a long trial, they were acquitted. The Attorney General has appealed. And the persons who were accused and arraigned as accused in the High Court were persons who were naval intelligence officers. The Attorney General himself indicted them. So, the involvement of the state, and particularly that of the intelligence component of the state, was admittedly conceded by the Honorable Attorney General himself. It's not only these cases, even others, Lasantha Wickramatunge, Keith Noah, Prageeth Eknaligoda, and scores of Tamil journalists who were killed. Long list of names there, about 34. No investigation has even commenced in respect of one. Only one, I think, there was some magisterial inquiry and that was the end of it. Why is the state behaving in this way? Why is the judicial arm of the state like this? And it is because of this that we have consistently said that we have no confidence in the judiciary. Are we to be blamed? Are we to be blamed? When you yourself trade allegations against each other. Just hours ago, you did that. How are we to be blamed when we are always, almost always, at the butt end of justice. So that is why, in respect of serious crimes that have been committed in this country, that is why, in respect of international crimes that have been committed in this country, we have asked for international involvement, international inquiry, international judicial processes. How can you deny that? How can you say no when we can lay bare before you, not only we, you yourself did that a little while ago. You laid before the entire world the depths to which your judicial system had sunk. You were, so vociferous. You thought you were accusing the other side, but you were in fact accusing the judiciary. And as I said, justifiably so. Take some recent examples. And I want to pick one example of a colleague of mine, Hijaz Hizbullah, a brilliant lawyer. Honorable Minister of Justice knows that very well. A brilliant young lawyer denied justice for 8 months. What are you doing for 8 months? If you had evidence that he was involved in anything at all, you could have charged him with that. What are you doing for 8 months? All kinds of false allegations were made against him. When his house was searched and he was arrested, Honorable Minister, they took away 2 of his case briefs. Not even in a court of law can questions be asked with regard to communication between client and attorney, and you know that very well. There are only 2 instances of privilege. One husband-wife and the other is attorney-client privilege. That's how sacrosanct communication between a lawyer and his client is. But they took even his client's files. Can't he have clients? Can't he handle cases for people who are later found to have committed other crimes? Is a lawyer to be blamed? All right, even if you did that, in those files, if you found anything, you could have brought that to light. You could have produced him before court. Nothing to date.